Okay. Just a moment. Hello, good evening. Hi, I am Joanne Blackwell. Welcome back to Connections, a channel I created to preserve family histories and to share the stories of our ancestors. So, excuse me, so future generations and other families can reconnect or connect with their roots. Connections is where we share the stories of our ancestors, where we came from, what they endured, and how those generations connect to us today. It's about preserving real voices and real roots before those stories disappear. I've had several questions that people asked since my first episode, so I would try to answer them first. And then I want to talk about the lady who made this all possible, my Blackwell family history. The first question: what inspired me to start this channel? I realized that so many of our elders held history in their memories, and if we don't record it, it will be lost forever. So I wanted to create something my descendants could watch years from now and still feel connected to their past. Okay, next question. Why is family history important? When you know, you know. When you know where you come from, you stand a little taller. Family history gives people identity, pride, and connection. Excuse me. It reminds us that we didn't start with struggle. We started with strength and survival. Next question. How far did your family trace your roots? Thanks to the work of our late genealogist, Thelma Short, excuse me, Doswell. Our late genealogist, Thelma Short Doswell, traced our documented families. Excuse me, something is going on with my internet. What is going on? I hope you guys can hear me. Okay. So, as I said, thanks to the work of our late genealogist, Thelma Short Doswell, who traced our documented family line back to 1735, connecting us to our African ancestors. That foundation made everything else possible. Next question was, what do you hope people take away from your videos? I hope they feel inspired to ask questions about their own families. You don't have to be a professional researcher. Just start talking to relatives, saving photos, recording stories. Every family deserves to remember from where they came. Next question. How did it feel when people started responding to my first episode? Honestly, I was surprised and deeply touched. One individual said, my story made her want to explore her roots too. That's when I realized this isn't just my family story, it's something many families connect with. Tell us about your family's history. Our family's history traces back to 1735, and like many African American families, much of it was almost lost to time. What makes my family unique is that one person in the family didn't stop. She didn't stop at what was easy to find. Through careful research and oral history, she traced our family back generations, even connecting us, as I said before, back to Africa. That history became the foundation for everything we do as a family today. So let me introduce you to her, maybe. Our family was blessed to have a Thelma Short Doswell. She was the first known certified African American female genealogist in the country to earn that distinction. Through years of disciplined research, she traced our family all the way back to Africa, which is a rare and remarkable achievement for any African American family. Thelma wasn't just our genealogist, she was also our teacher and our storyteller. And I had the privilege of spending many hours, many weekends with her, assisting with her typing, listening to her stories, and watching how deeply she respected the family limbs she researched. Those moments weren't just about data, they were about memory, responsibility, and honoring people who had been forgotten by the records. Why does Thelma matter so much to me? She trusted me. She trusted me with her work, and I felt a responsibility to make sure it didn't stop with her. KinNections is, in many ways, a continuation of what she shared, preserving history, but also making it accessible and meaningful for future generations. Her work resulted in 3 large canvas family trees, carefully documented, carefully verified. Today, those trees have been exhibited in museums, including the Library of Congress. This was not accidental research, it was intentional, rigorous, deeply respectful. Thelma began researching in the 1950s. She started the old fashioned way. She interviewed her grandmother and her great auntie. She asked about parents, grandparents, great grandparents, births, deaths, marriages, churches, places, dates. Then she went to the county courthouses across southern Virginia. Well, no, across searching searching for any legal documentation of her ancestors' existence. Today we can do that online, but she did it in person, by hand, page by page. She recorded those names later on canvas, not paper charts, but works of art. On canvas, each tree represents a different stage of discovery. She recorded those names on the canvas in the form of an oak tree. An oak symbolizes strength, longevity, endurance, and wisdom. Her first tree captured oral history. Her second tree showed roots, meaning she had traced our family back to Africa. This tree has over 3,300 names on the leaves and branches. Her third tree and the last tree on canvas was unveiled in 1991. It included over 5,000 family members spanning 15 states and Africa and Canada and Germany and Haiti. In between the last 2 trees, she published a family history book that documents the Blackwell family from 1735 to 1979. Thelma understood something essential. When records fall silent, context becomes evidence. She connected geography to generations, oral memory to written proof, and family tradition to historical record. Because of her work, our story does not begin with slavery alone. And my aim is inspired by Thelma to preserve history, honor ancestors, help families connect, and oral history because our stories matter. So, in closing, silence in the records does not mean absence of life. It means the work requires patience, humility, and truth. Because of researchers like Thelma, Short, Doswell, and because families choose to remember, our ancestors are not lost. They can be found. When records are silent, we listen differently. So thank you for hanging out with me tonight. Now please subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell so you will be notified of my next episode. Good night, good people.